Okay, what's up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well this fine Wednesday morning or afternoon, or maybe even evening, depending where you are in the world. Welcome back to the stream. If you are new to the channel, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. If you're enjoying the content, feel free to stay in the loop, subscribe, hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. If you haven't done already, check out the Telegram channel, link in the description to the group and the channel. I share my ideas, watch list, trades, videos, so make sure you go check that out. If you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link at the top of the chat to IC Markets if you are indeed looking for a broker. But yeah, guys, welcome back to another stream. Umar, first few, always love to see it. Brian, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Blessing, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Kenny, hope you're well. Anus, as always, morning. Hope everyone is doing good. So, we have an eventful day today with CPI coming out later. I'm currently still nursing my pound USD position from Monday, which is over here. So yeah, I'm still currently nursing this pound USD position. We came very close to my target, kind of overnight pretty much. We kind of kept going up, which is surprising. Normally pound USD moves sideways. But we kept going to the upside and we've come a few pips away, maybe like 10 or 15 pips, 18 pips-ish from my target, and price starting to retrace. So I'm hoping maybe CPI can push this back up to 1.3, come back and retest that big daily level, which is this level of support here, which is my target for the trade. Currently taking partials and stops at break even. So worst case scenario, CPI happens and it pushes price all the way down against me. Would be heartbreaking, but we still walk away with a small win at the end of the day, so can't complain too much. But yeah, still currently in pound USD longs. There's a few other pairs that I do have my eyes on. I'm still eyeing up gold as well. We were talking about gold a lot yesterday, and as things stand, looks like gold is slowly but surely looking like it's going to break through this 1940 handle. So I'm expecting to see a breakout of this resistance. We haven't broken out yet, so I'm definitely not looking to enter any longs yet, but if we can get the break through this area, I am favoring some more upside. Yesterday we were speaking about, whether we should short, whether we should long. For me, I was just very neutral coming into this level, but if we did break through, I am definitely going to be looking for some longs to try and catch that next higher low. 1, 2, 3, 4, expecting a push to the upside back into resistance. So gold's still probably top of the watch list, as well for USD CAD shorts as well. I really like USD CAD as well, and we'll take a look at that in detail in a moment. But gold still looking pretty good, but yet to see a breakout. So yeah, can't be doing too much with gold at the moment. But if we do see a breakout with CPI, then yeah, gold will be added to the watch list, and I'll be looking for some pullbacks and some long opportunities. Good morning, Zark. Good morning, Garang. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. So yeah, dollar CAD also looking pretty good. I mean, this is looking like a almost textbook head and shoulder pattern if we do get that right shoulder, which is kind of what I'm looking for. But as you can see, left shoulder there, head up there, and then possible right shoulder for the collapse to the downside. The market's not holding the trend line anymore. It's not holding support either. So by my book, this is looking pretty bearish. We're looking at another major lower high in reference to the daily time frame. So we've got one over here, second one over here with that double top, and presumably a third one, which we're anticipating on the retest of this structure here. So looking for a return back into 1.31355 for dollar CAD. So basically, I'm just looking at some pullbacks to get short, basically. And yeah, I'm looking at a retest of this structure here. Looking at retest of this structure here, pull back, lower high, kind of give the right shoulder, then drops the downside. The only thing with dollar CAD is I fear we might not get a setup, because if we get CPI and it favors dollar weakness, USD CAD could just melt to the downside. USD CAD could just melt to the downside without any pullbacks for me to get involved with. So I'm kind of, I don't know, because I want CPI to create dollar weakness, obviously for my pound USD position, and hopefully to get the breakout of gold. But then I also want some dollar strength so we can get pullback in dollar CAD, so I can get some shorts for this one as well. So yeah, I mean, whether happens, but I can see some nice shorts on USD CAD. Anis, what is your morning routine? Morning routine, good question. Morning routine is pretty simple. I've gone through a bunch of morning routines in my career, but the ones that I stick to are the simplest ones. So normally I just get up in the morning, stretch a little bit, down some water. I don't know why, but water just seems to wake me up in the morning. So I get a cup of water, down that, and then I go through the charts quickly, kind of see what's happened over the Asian session, then have breakfast, and then I'm back on the charts again. Very simple but effective. Nothing too extravagant. I'm not running 5 miles and doing 10 backflips before I start the trade. But yeah, I've done a wide spectrum of different routines, and they're all nice. But I feel like for longevity and consistency, it needs to be fairly simple, but also effective as well. And for me, stretching and drinking some water is a good way to start my day, and having some breakfast as well. What's up, Ramzan? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing fine. What's up, Roland? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good as well. I am long in pound 80. I bought at 1.9156. We'll take a look. Anis, what's your morning routine? You running 10 miles in the morning? Okay, so we'll take a look at pound AUD and pound AUD, AUDNSD. Okay, we'll take a look as well. We're discussing AUDNSD a lot yesterday for some reason. We'll take a look at it. Mary, what's up? Good morning. Hope you're doing good. Still on AJ price sales. Kindly have a look. Okay, we'll add that to the old list as well. Okay, so we'll start with pound AUD. Did you say looking at longs or something? Yeah, pound AUD bought 1.9196. Okay, let's draw that in. 91956. Okay, that's around about ish there. Okay, beautiful entry. Obviously price is obviously sitting in some profit for you. So yeah, do you have a specific target in mind for pound AUD? Because we were talking about pound AUD yesterday, and I said price is just in the middle of nowhere. We cracked some weekly and daily resistance early this week. We're yet to see if it sustains, because obviously this current weekly candle still has a couple days and a bit left, so we could actually see this close bearish in the market, close back underneath the resistance there. So whether we actually get the breakout with a candle closure is yet to be seen until the end of the week. But obviously we have a lot of bullish momentum present. We're looking at multiple time frames pointing to the upside in terms of a strong bullish trend. So buys are always favorable in these conditions. It's just that where we're trading right now is a little bit scary because we haven't been here for a while. So like I said yesterday, keep an eye on psychological levels. 1.94, I think we tagged it, did we? Oh, we missed it by a few pips. But 1.94 is a big psychological level. We came pretty close to that before the market's having some retracement. So yeah, I'm keen to understand what your target is for the trade. Unless you're just trading stops and waiting for the market to take you out and see how far it could go. But yeah, for me, there's no kind of clear target apart from the psychological levels, or if you're just looking at price swing highs. Obviously, the market's trading above this level here. This is a big resistance. So if we do crack through this, then we might see a bit more downside. But yeah, I do like the position because obviously you're following the higher time frame trend. You've got multiple time frames all in sync. But it's just that where we're trading right now is a little bit exposed. So, if the market is going to retrace, this is kind of the areas it's going to retrace from. So my advice would be to take some partials, realize some of the gains. But yeah, try not be too greedy with your targets, because we could reverse at any point right now. Okay, so AUDNSD will take a look as well. And ADJPY, exact same for me. Yeah, nice and simple, effective as well. I think for me, just waking up early, it's just good, because sometimes I get into a bad rut where I don't wake up on time and I sleep in, and it just doesn't feel good to do that. Obviously, it does feel good at the time sleeping in bed, but just getting up early, getting some water down, you just getting ready for the day. for me, that just puts me in a good mood straight away. But yeah, I mean, morning routines is just kind of whatever, suits you the best, really. Simple that you can follow, and it kind of wakes you up and ready for the day. That's the goal of a morning routine. So if it does that, whatever you do, then yeah, keep at it. Okay, so AUDNZD, we were talking about this one quite a lot yesterday. We did get a nice little wick into this level. This is the level we were talking about yesterday. So I said we could get a nice stab into this level. We had some nice confluence with the 50, I'm pretty sure. Or the 50 was slightly above it. We may have wicked into it anyway. So yeah, we just about tagged the 50. So this was a good area of confluence, looking for some shorts. It happened over the Asian session. Was there news? Because it's a big wick. Yeah, 2 a.m. Maybe there might have been some NZD news. I think there was NZD news. So yeah, it looks a bit exaggerated. But yeah, naturally speaking, this is a decent place to look to short the market. Stops above that area and targets, it could be even back to that resistance, which the price is already tagged, or back to the support level there. That's a nice secondary take profit. But yeah, for AUDNZD, you probably want to be looking at some shorts close to the level. We could come up, double top it, and then drop again. Right now, I wouldn't say there's much to do. We're not close to the level, kind of in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, I'm still bearish on the pair until we start breaking some key structure. And all I'm seeing is successive lower highs. And I'm anticipating another one to be forming around here-ish, looking for the next leg to the downside. I've been speaking about the overall kind of range-bound market on the daily and the weekly time frame. We've got equal highs there, more or less some equal lows here. So we could be coming back into this area of support around 1.06. So in my book, there's still a lot downside left for AUDNZD. So yeah, if you can catch the next lower high, it could be very, very rewarding. And in terms of areas to do so, this is looking like a good area around 1.082 with some decent confluence as well. So if you're not currently already in the short, you probably want price to get back there again and see what we do there next. If you can find some more wicks, get a nice little double top in, that could be a nice little trade within itself. Looking for a push back down to the prior low, and if you want to push it further, that that'll be up to you. But yeah, in terms of direction, definitely still bearish for AUDNZD, and still looking at more downside from 1.082, at least back into the prior low at 1.07385. Okay, so we'll go take a look at AUDJPY and AUDCAD as well. Hello, amigo. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Blessing EuroJPY, EuroAD. Okay, we'll take a look. Yes, I did go over gold briefly. I'll probably look in a bit more detail later into the stream, so you scroll back to that if you want to, but I'll probably take a look at gold in a bit more detail soon. Euro Pound, we'll take a look at as well. Roland, my target is 2.048 G2 monthly target. Okay, what pair are you talking about? Is it AUDNZD? No, pound AUD. Okay, so you're talking about pound AUD target 2.04815. Monthly target, interesting. So you're really trying to make the most out of pound AUD then. 2.04, where is that? 2.04815. Oh, wow. That's all the way. That's all the way up here. That's I wonder what the risk to reward is on that trade. So yeah, I mean that's it's confident. It's confident. I'll say that definitely. Yeah, I wonder what the risk to reward is on that trade. It must be like 1 to 50 at least. But yeah, I mean that's I mean from a monthly perspective, that target does make sense. We've kind of bottomed out here. The market's had a massive rejection. Looks like we're snapping through the highs. Next kind of critical target past this point here would probably be that high there. So if I was looking at this from a monthly perspective, I would probably looking at some retracement, break and retest something, expecting price to reach back to those highs. So from a monthly perspective, that target does make a lot of sense. But if you're going to drop to like the hourly and try to trade monthly targets, especially that far away, it's going to be a lot of noise. There's going to be a lot of noise before we get there. Hourly can still break trend, go bearish a little bit, then it goes bullish, then bearish, maybe wick some people out. There's going to be a lot of this before we get there. So, trying to be one-dimensional, looking to stretch the trade that far, sometimes it will play out. And of course, if the risk reward does play out, it kind of makes up for all the other trades that don't. But I would advise maybe taking profits along the way, having some targets beforehand, trading stops as well. You can always look to get back in with a target so far away. You don't need to time it perfectly. If the market goes up a little bit, takes you out of the trade, you can get back in again another higher low and get back in and take advantage of the trade. Doesn't need to be holding it all the way down there. So yeah, the target is quite aggressive because it's so far away. But it does make sense from a technical aspect if you're looking at the monthly time frame. But trying to trade it using the 4H or the hourly is going to be very, very difficult. Okay, so UNSD, we'll add that to the list as well. Why are you not considering shorting gold? It's hitting the daily resistance and trend line as well. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the price action coming into the zone. It looks like price is more likely going to break through. Again, I'll take a look at gold in detail and explain why. But from price action, how it's looking, it's not looking good to short. But yeah, I'll take a look at it in a bit more detail in a second. Roland, I analyze from the monthly, weekly, daily, and look at for entries on the 4H. Okay, yeah, that's perfectly fine. But just because you use the monthly, weekly, daily, and the 4H to monthly, weekly, daily to analyze, and 4H for entry doesn't necessarily mean you have to have targets all the way at the monthly. It could still be 4H targets or daily targets. You can just use the monthly and the weekly for high time frame confluence in terms of trends. So you don't necessarily need to push it all the way that far. I mean, if you've got something that works for you, of course, stick to it. The only thing with having a target so far is that you're going to have a lot of break-evens and a lot of, break-evens, before you get that one big win, which could take a while, months, even with a trade that far. But if you're looking to get in multiple times and not just hold it, all the way down here, if the market, pushes up, get back in or something like that, then you can really take advantage of that trade if you get in multiple times, which I think might be your plan. But yeah, I would advise if you are going to target all the way up there, make sure have some partials along the way to pay yourself. Elder, love your analysis. Thank you. Appreciate it. Any markets you're looking at, feel free to drop it in the old chat. Let me get through some pairs now. I'll go take a look at AUD CAD. Was it AUD CAD? Yeah, AUD CAD, AJPY, Euro Yen, UAD. We'll take a look. Now we'll take a look at gold as well. Okay, so AUD JPY. Do you say what you're looking for in this pair, or you just want my analysis? Still looking for sells, or are you still holding some sells? Yeah, the market is melting downside quite aggressively. So if you're in some sells, congratulations, because the price is looking pretty bearish. If you're looking to sell, depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for another big swing like we had here, probably want to see some big retracement coming to play around 95 to 50. So if you can get a big pullback, this is a nice, very attractive level to short from. Lower high, kind of fake this high here, grab another lower high, big push to downside, unretested support. This is looking very attractive for some sells. So I do like the break and retest there for ADJPY and the 4H time frame. If you're looking for a bit more of a day trade, then you might be able to sculpt some pips here to the downside and retest some structure, pull back, retest, another drop to the downside. So if you're looking for a smaller range to trade with, hourly 30-minute, nice break and retest of this zone here, still looking pretty attractive with all these consecutive lower highs as well. So depends what you're looking for in terms of the time frame and your risk reward and whatnot. But yeah, the market is definitely looking bearish, and I do see some more downside, although I would start watching out because we are coming back to some key areas of support, which was resistance, now turns support, and also some trendline confluence, I'm pretty sure, with all these higher lows as well. So I would start being a little bit careful with the sells, especially with such an aggressive move. The market may be a little bit oversold, so I'm not expecting too much crazy momentum anymore with ADJPY unless we get that bigger pullback to the upside. So this could present a big opportunity, but if you're looking at the lower time frames, I wouldn't try and push the trade too far. But yeah, I do agree. The market is looking pretty bearish, and some pullbacks will be very, very nice indeed. AUD CAD, I'm still kind of eyeing up AUD CAD. It kind of is just moving very, very choppy right now. This is pure consolidation. I'm still treating this as a retracement of this bearish leg here. So eventually I do see the market looking for another move to the downside. I've been talking about this daily support target for a while now, so I'm still expecting price to get there. But how it gets there will obviously be up to price. So like I said yesterday, I'm still waiting for a bit more development with AUD CAD. So I'm waiting for the market to start breaking some structure, start giving me some clear lower lows and lower highs to trade. And then I'll look to get in on one of them. Right now, this is consolidation. I'm not trying to second guess the market. This could easily break to the upside, just as it could easily break south. So for me, I'm waiting for those lower highs to present themselves, and that's when I start looking for my trading opportunities. Because again, trend trader, I'm looking for trend, I'm looking for highs and lows to jump on the back of, and when I see that, that's when I execute. But right now, conditions are a little bit poor. So yeah, 80 CAD, bearish bias, looking at overall push to 0.86, yeah, pretty much 86 on the dot. But want price to start breaking outside of this consolidation, start giving some lower lows and lower highs, and maybe you can catch a nice little retest of some broken support term resistance as well. So there could be some nice trades for 80 CAD, but at the moment, this is pure consolidation, and I would stay away. We'll take a look at Euro Yen next. So Euro Yen, oh, forgot to take away my analysis for yesterday. So this is my analysis coming to the week yesterday. Coming into today. So yeah, we're looking for some pullbacks for Euro Yen, but obviously the market is just way too bullish. I mean, way too bearish. Not bullish at all. The market was way too bearish, so we didn't see that pullback. The market's now breaking through some critical support as well. So again, my verdict is kind of the same thing with the yen pairs. They're looking particularly bearish right now. Again, from a higher time frame perspective, particularly the weekly, the monthly, they're all still very, very bullish. We might just be seeing a retracement for a bigger move to the upside later on. So I'm always going to be cautious looking for sells for the yen pairs and not trying to be too greedy with my targets and how far I try to push them. But yeah, Euro Yen still looking pretty bearish. And yeah, you'll be looking at some pullbacks for Euro Yen. If you can get a nice little move to the upside, we've got some retest, we've got some structure we need to retest here. Broken support, hasn't got the retest yet, so it looks attractive to short from 155.500. And yeah, looking to catch that next level high as well. So yeah, Euro Yen for me still bearish. Again, target wise, back to the prior low looks good. And yeah, looking to continue that bearish momentum. Nice little reversal to the upside off that double top, breaking structure. Since then, consecutive lower highs. Looking to see if we can grab the next one at some point as well. So yeah, Euro Yen for me, bearish, looking at some more downside. And against most other yen pairs, we can probably see a bit more downside as well. Pound Yen 2, I think, yeah. It's still quite choppy, don't get me wrong. And again, the high time frame is still definitely bullish. So I'm still deeming these sells to be counter trend, but we can still take advantage of counter trend setups. We just have to be a bit more conservative with our targets. Or at least I will be anyway. Okay, so we'll take a look at Euro AUD next. Let me know if you're looking at something similar to what I'm looking at when I go through the pairs, or if you're looking at something completely different as well on a different time frame too. Okay, so Euro AUD. So we're talking about this one yesterday. I do actually really like the price action with Euro AUD. Like I said, this is very, very similar to the pound CAD setup, which I had on my watches coming into the week. Pound CAD gave us this really nice head and shoulder pattern. So we obviously had the left shoulder over here, the head and the right shoulder. We snapped through the neckline, had a lovely little retest, and there was some nice entries for some longs. Obviously, I didn't take the trade here because I was trading pound USD. Both of them gave me the exact same signal at the exact same time, both bullish engulfing candles. I chose to trade pound USD instead of pound CAD because risk to reward is a little bit better, and I like the setup a little bit better as well. But nonetheless, if pound USD wasn't setting up, I would be in pound CAD right now, looking for some buys, or I probably would be exited. It's already taken up the high, so yeah, I'd probably be out of the trade. But yeah, lovely breaking retest. You can see the head and shoulder. So jumping back to Euro AUD, you can see the market's practically giving us the same price action. Big inverse head and shoulder, creating the neckline, but we want to see the breakout first. So like I said, Euro AUD is kind of like maybe 3 days behind pound CAD in terms of price action. And again, they don't have a correlation. Euro AUD and pound CAD are not really correlated pairs. It just happens to be that they're producing similar chart patterns at the moment. But yeah, if we can see a break and retest of this level here, it kind of gives us similar setup to pound CAD. And we're looking at a correction, retest, and we've got the highs to follow up there on the left. You know that higher time frames are still quite bullish as well. As you can see, concrete bullish trend at the moment on the weekly time frame. So yeah, we've got a good chance that the market is going to push back to the highs there eventually. And if you can break through that neckline there and get a retest, we know that we've got a good probability of catching a winning trade there on a retest of 1.65, 500-ish. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for UAD. I really like the price action here. And again, let's just wait for the break and retest. And again, we don't necessarily have to have the break and retest. The market could obviously fail at the highs here and roll over, and I could be completely wrong. If that happens, I wouldn't be looking for any positions. But if we do break to the upside, then that's when I start becoming interested in the pair. And we've got a nice 230 pip range to work with as well. So risk to reward, if you get a nice 30 pip stop loss, you're looking at a very good risk to reward. You don't even need to hold it that far. 50 pip stop loss, you're even looking at a decent risk to reward as well. So yeah, UAD, looking at some buys, keep an eye on this setup. And again, it might kind of materialize for next week. Maybe CPI could give us a breakout, not too sure. But yeah, those are the pairs, not necessarily that I'm looking at, but obviously you guys are looking at. Euro USD we'll take a look at as well. Miguel, what is up? Hey man, would you consider taking a buy on USD CAD at this moment? No, I'm actually looking to sell USD CAD at the moment. Not now, but if it can retrace, I'm looking to sell. I see why you're looking at a buy, because it is coming into support, but I'm bearish on this one. Because we've had this big fake out to the upside, big momentum to the upside. Momentum came straight back down. And now we've just about taken out these lows here on the left. So I'm looking at a lower high developing for another move to the downside. So buys, yes, but I do see them as short term and just retracement. We are still holding on to support, so it does make sense looking for buys. But yeah, I do see more downside for this one, back down to support and kind of following that higher time frame bearish trend there. I'm looking for price to revisit those lows. So I do see where you're coming from with the buys and coming to support and see some rejection. But the overall trajectory of USD CAD to me still looks very bearish. So I'm still expecting that support to eventually break. So if we do see a move to the upside from USD CAD from that level, I'm anticipating retracement and a move lower. Okay, so we'll go and take a look at Euro USD as well. I'll take a look at Euro USD and gold, Euro pound too, before I forget that pair. Morning Cami, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Sorry for caps, no worries. You're good. I just took a look at ADNZD a moment ago. If you scroll back a few markets, you will see my analysis to that pair. Pound CAD, we'll take a look as well. No problem, Ronan, happy to help. Ham GBP, asking for pound, or is there a specific pound pair you're after? Valentin, what is up? Have you put buy limits and sell limits at key zones when new goes on? No, I do not do that at all. I don't look to trade the news. I might hold a position through the news, but I don't specifically look to take advantage of news. I've got a strategy, and my goal is to trade that strategy to the best of my ability. And I'm not trying to take advantage of the volume and volatility created from the news at all. So yeah, I do not put any limits or anything when the news comes out. I just sit back and see what the news does. I'm not trying to stress myself out. Okay, so we'll take a look at Euro USD. I'll take a look at Euro Pound after as well, and Euro NZD. So Euro USD looking particularly bullish. We're looking for a pullback for Euro USD. We were discussing yesterday on the break and retest of this level. I know a couple of people were looking to also take advantage of some buys for Euro USD, but we had a kind of weird pullback. It happened like late New York session, like coming into 2, 3, 4 p.m. and price started gaining momentum during the Asian session as well. It would be nice if it was early London or even New York today. But yeah, Euro USD looking pretty bullish. Nice little break and retest of that level there. We still do have the target for Euro USD slightly above price, which is at 1.106, 1.105. This is what I'm expecting Euro USD to get to. You may even see a breakout from that if Euro USD wants to follow Pound USD, because obviously Pound's cleared its daily and weekly highs very, very easily here, and we could still see more upside for Pound. Euro USD hasn't necessarily done that yet, but it looks like it's on its way to. So I'm expecting Euro USD to at least get to 1.105, and then we'll see what happens there. We may reject and come back down, obviously, as well. But if you're looking at Euro USD, buys are looking the best bet. Might even catch a break and we test off the high here on the lower time frames. Again, with Euro, it's a tricky one because we've got news coming out in 3 hours time? 10:30 now. 3 hours time. So we've got news coming out in 3 hours time. So, you have to do the maths here. If you get into a position now, are you going to hold it into the news? Well, you run the risk of getting stopped very, very easily, because if you're going to see CPI do its thing, most likely you're going to wick up and down. So even if you're in the right direction, you're going to be prone to getting stopped out. And I'm not going to lie, stops below here or above there are going to be subjected to wicks. You're not really in a safe place. Stop loss below here is much, much safer, but obviously the risk reward is looking very, very rubbish if you put your stop loss underneath there. But I'm going to lie, stops above or below here just looks like it's crying to be stopped. I'm not going to lie. So if you do get into new buys here, my advice would be looking to exit before the news comes into action, which is again in about 3 hours time. And in 3 hours time, are we going to see much movement for Euro? I doubt we will. Typically before big news announcements, we don't really see too much momentum and too much movement. Normally price is kind of just getting ready for the news, and then the news is the catalyst to get things going again. So with Euro USD in the next 3 hours, you might see price kind of consolidate, maybe push back to the highs. And that's probably the best you're going to see before the news comes out. So with Euro USD, I would recommend maybe waiting after the news and seeing what happens. Yes, price might just rocket to the upside. You might miss the move, but it's always best to not second guess the market and potentially miss a move than get into a position that you regret, for soon after you've entered. So Euro USD, I'm expecting 1.05. If we were to return back to some key support again, that would be very nice to look for some longs off the back of that. Maybe the news could push us down and then we could look to buy it later up. But I am bullish on Euro USD, so I wouldn't look to long and I wouldn't look to short right now. But I do expect upside from at least 1.098. So maybe CPI can push us down to then take us back up again. Okay, so I'll go take a look at Euro Pound. So yeah, Euro Pound we'll take a look at next. Euro NZD as well. We'll take a look at NZD CAD, Dollar Yen, and Nasdaq as well. Bunch of pairs to go through. What's up, Forex? Wix paying my bills. Hope you're doing good. Good morning, Dres. Welcome to the stream, Mighty King. No problem. Happy to help as well. I have restricted my trading to Euro USD, Dollar Yen, Pound USD Gold, and US 500. Open for suggestions on adding a couple of pairs. With Euro USD, Dollar Yen, Pound USD Gold, and S&P, it's a nice little spectrum you've got there. Dollar is kind of the main catalyst with all of those pairs, so it kind of makes it easier to follow your trades from a fundamental aspect and from a news point perspective as well. You don't have to worry about pound news necessarily too much. Obviously, with Pound USD, Bank of England, that will cause some friction, but your main kind of antagonist is dollar, so it keeps it simple from that perspective. And then you've got commodities, you've got indices, you've got Forex as well, so you've got different asset pools to jump into as well. So if you want to add, I'll probably say maybe a yen pair just to mix it up and kind of add something a little bit different as well. But again, it's not necessarily you need to add to the pairs you trade. If you trade a certain group of pairs, it gives you enough opportunities for you to see the results you want. That's the key thing you're after. Essentially, do you have enough opportunities to achieve the results you want? If you've got enough opportunities, then you don't really need to do too much. You don't really want to be, if the thing's not broken, you don't want to fix it, type of thing. But if you really want to add something, I would say maybe a yen pair, because that will give you something different as well. To think about, and maybe something different from a dollar position as well. But if the results you're looking for can be found with those pairs, then my advice is probably don't need to add. Just focus on that, and you become a master of few rather than a jack of all. even though I trade a wide range of pairs. Anyway, so we'll take a look at USD then Euro Pound next. So where's USD? Okay, so USD, like I said, I wasn't really too much of a fan of USD. I wasn't really too much of a fan. I really like Euro AUD, which is again a very, very similar pair to this one, very correlated. So I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I can see some buys if we were to break above this resistance here. So if you can break above this level at 1.785, I'm personally looking for a push back to the prior highs and continue the overall uptrend. If you zoom out to the daily time frame, you can see it was still amongst a very healthy bullish trend with successive higher lows. The market keeps printing, so the chance of us coming back to the highs up here is pretty high, unless we're going to see a sudden collapse in price and the big break of structure, which is highly unlikely. Possible, but highly unlikely. The most likely outcome of this price action would be for price to go and take up the highs there. So looking at buys is definitely your best bet with USD. And right now we're kind of coming into resistance, which is why I'm looking for price to break the resistance and then look for a retest above that. If you can show some signs of rejection above that, that could be a nice little place to buy. You've got a nice little healthy target right in front of you, or if you want to push it a little bit further, you've obviously got the high here on the left too. So it's up to you how far you want to push the trade and into what level. But in terms of my analysis and my bias for USD, it's definitely bullish. Same as UAD as well. I just prefer UAD's price action and its structure a little bit more than USD, but it's the same thing as well. So yeah, USD's at some resistance. People probably be looking for some sells here, and rightly so. It's a nice level to sell from, but I just don't expect it to go too far based on what the overall picture of the market is doing. If we do push the downside, it's mostly just going to be another higher low to push higher again. So you're better off just waiting for some buys. And breaking above that structure, a retest does look pretty attractive. So yeah, wait for a break of 1.78 and then you can look for some retracements there. But yeah, that's probably the best I can see for USD at the moment. And Euro Pound, for me, this is still very choppy. I did say I was waiting to see if the market can break lows. It has done that, but it's just very, very shallow breakout. You know, these are the type of breakouts which easily could be false, and the market could easily climb back above, which currently it's doing right now. So with me for Euro Pound, I'm still kind of regarding this as consolidation, and this is potentially just a fake out to the downside. So if we do climb back inside the range, I will not be looking at price action again until we get another breakout. I can see there is some consecutive lower highs here. We may print another one coming back to retest some structure. I'm not too sure where, to be fair. There's no obvious level that looks good to short from. Could do something like that, but again, the market conditions are quite poor right now, and we're also struggling to break through this daily support on the left, which is this support level here as well. So yeah, Euro Pound, the market conditions are not too great right now, so I would say my best bet for the Euro Pound is kind of leave it alone. If you must trade it, then there might be a quick little break and retest back above this area for some short-term buys. But yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of the conditions right now. If we broke through for a lot of distance and clear this support, then yeah, pullbacks after that will look a lot better. But it's a very, very shallow breakout, and yeah, I'm not convinced. So Euro Pound at the moment is still kind of neutral, treating this as a bigger consolidation, and there might be some short-term buys in the break and retest. But yeah, definitely not a fan of Euro Pound at the moment. Okay, so where was I? USD, Euro Pound. Okay, so we'll go take a look at dollar yen, Nasdaq. Yeah, dollar yen, Nasdaq, NZD CAD, and USD ZAR as well. Elder, what's up? Opinion on news today? Should we close the trades before NZD CAD bearish? I'm in. Okay, good question. Again, I tried to tell everyone that, you know, as a trader, but it depends what type of trader you are. For me, anyway, as a swing trader, you know, it's difficult for me to maneuver myself around news, because if my average hold time is like 2 days, or a little bit over 2 days, not quite 3 days, but if my average time is around there, then it's gonna be difficult to maneuver around news and not cross paths with it. So for me, my outlook is, as long as I'm not trading directly into news, then I'm happy to hold through news. And if you've got, say like you're in a trade, say like you're currently, say like you're short from up here, and you're looking for a target like somewhere down here, you know, holding through news at this point in time is not necessarily such a bad thing. Worst thing that happens, news takes price up against you, and let's say you got stop loss to break even, you know, you take a break even. Best case scenario, news pushes price down and you know, takes you out for a win. So news is just like a catalyst to get the market moving again. Whether it takes you out to a break even or a loss is irrelevant. But if you're going to enter a trade like now and the news is coming out very, very shortly, then you're kind of at risk for just getting an unnecessary wick and getting stopped out and then seeing price moving in your direction, which is why I try to avoid entering, you know, just before news, because I'm prone to getting wicked out unnecessarily. So if you've got a bit of room to play with your trade and you're floating, you know, healthy in profit, stop loss to break even, then my advice would be just sit through the trade. You know, best thing that happens, take profit. Worst thing that happens, break even. You should be pretty fine. But if you don't have so much room to play with, and you know, if it's going to be easier for your mental state, then just close the trade, take the profit, move on to the next trade. You know, your goal isn't to maximize each trade. It's just to be consistent and follow a plan. And then by the end of that, you know, you should be profitable if your plan's profitable, of course. So yeah, make the call. You know, if you got a bit of room to play with, you can hold through the news. If it's a little bit tight and you want to keep your stress levels fairly low this afternoon, then yeah, you can call it a day and just take your profit. But we'll take a look at entity CAD shortly. Let me just go through dollar yen and dollar yen and Nasdaq. Okay, so dollar yen, and also try and make up the decision like before, like with your trading plan of what your kind of outlook is with news. Like for me, I know I hold through news, I just don't enter just before, and that's kind of my outlook on news, and that's my plan I stick to. Okay, so dollar yen, yeah, looking particularly bearish. It's broken through 141, so I'm not really no longer looking for buys for this one. It might push up from this support, but I'm not necessarily interested in buys at the moment. Price is still very, very bearish, and I'm trying to catch a falling knife here, which is something that I'm not trying to do. I'm not trying to, you know, catch when price reverses. That's not really my type of trade. But yeah, if we can get some pullbacks for this one, there probably is some more downside left, because this is a lot of bearish momentum. And when you see such a strong move like this, normally if you get a decent retracement, you're going to see the market spill over again. So yeah, some pullbacks on dollar yen do look pretty good. If you're on the lower time frames, then obviously a break and retest looks good as well. You can see how bearish the market is because we haven't been really getting much break and retest. Support there, never got a retest. Support there, never got a retest either. So you can see how bearish the market is, not even retesting support on its way down. So we might be getting our first retest of this level, see what we can get there, and possibly see some more downside as well. So yeah, dollar yen looking very, very bearish. Shorts look good for this one, kind of riding that momentum. Yeah, break and retest of 140.273 looks good as well. We haven't got a break and retest yet, so that means we're likely to get one soon. And this is obviously a nice little level. We broke through with good momentum, haven't retested either. So this is still a nice fresh level to short from. Again, this is a bit more of an intraday trade. I wouldn't try and stretch it too far because, again, dollar yen has already had an impressive down move. So trying to be too greedy with the shorts, you know, you could see the market have that bigger pullback eventually. So yeah, I wouldn't try and push it too far. Back to the prior low is a pretty smart decision. But yeah, dollar yen, looking at some more downside intraday at least. Okay, so we'll move on to the old Nasdaq. Okay, so what's cooking with this one? Okay, looking fairly bullish. We were talking about Nasdaq. I said I wasn't too much of a fan of it because we were failing at the highs again. I did say we might hold this level of support for another push to the upside, and we did see that happen. We did get another push to the downside. Market came and held the support. Now we're looking bullish again. So I'm going to look to see what US 100 does at the resistance here, because you know, to me, this is more or less consolidation. If price is failing to break through highs and failing to break through lows, then that for me is a kind of definition of consolidation. So I'm waiting for price to do something like this, you know, take the highs out, retest, next high low, you know, 1, 2, 3, kind of connecting the dots to see that next high low, and then we look for buys to the upside. this is like a good opportunity for some buys. Anything in this area here is a little bit choppy. You've got some equal highs the market's going to break through, and yeah, I wouldn't look to sell either. I know price is obviously rejecting resistance, but again, I'm not really one to advocate looking to sell in a bullish market and look to buy in a bearish market. The trend for me is still very much to the upside, as we can evidently see. So I'm kind of looking for a breakout, retest, and continuation. And this looks like a very, very good trade. The only way I'll look for some sells if we start breaking some structure to the downside, clearing out some lows, looking for a pullback, catch the next lower high, and then break and retest the some resistance. And then we look for some sells. So this is the only way I would look to take a short position after that original break of structure. And the only way I look to take a long position is if we clear the highs and get a retest. Anything in this area here, I would happily class that as consolidation. But in terms of direction, I'm still bullish on the pair. High time frame trend is still pretty bullish. And we are still trading in a very critical resistance here as well. So a breakout of that would be quite significant, but we'll wait and see. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for NASDAQ as well. Thank you so much, Bandle Fortune, for subscribing. If you guys are enjoying the channel, by the way, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. If you're finding it useful, finding it informative, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any uploads in the future. Okay, I'll take a look at NZD CAD now. US 30, we'll add that to the old list as well. Pound NZD as well, we'll take a look. Oil, we'll take a look. Mighty King, no problem. AUD CAD thoughts, I'm looking to buy 0.88, take profit. Okay, we'll take a look at AUD CAD as well. Anus, I think that especially day traders should have specific pairs to trade. It's hard to analyze a lot of pairs every day. Also, they should have precise entry confirmation. Also, because few pips could cause losses, not like swing trader. They don't need big precision. They 2 or 3 pips doesn't mean much to. Yeah, very, very true. Very, very true as well. That's definitely something like the lower your kind of stop loss, the lower your pip targets, the more each pip makes a difference. Like to me, you know, 2, 3 pips, 4, 5 pips doesn't really make too much difference. If my average TP is like 150, 200, sometimes even 300 pips, you know, losing out on an extra 2, 3, 4, 5 pips doesn't really make too much difference on my overall profit. So even like spreads to me, I don't even think of spreads in my trading. A lot of people are like, oh, I've got tight spreads here, tight spreads there. I don't even think I don't bat an eyelid about spreads, because it never concerns me. Sometimes, yeah, I can see if my entry's a little bit higher or a little bit lower than where I should execute. But in the grand scheme of things, if my stop loss is 50, 60, 70 pips, then, you know, extra 1 or 2, 3 pips doesn't really make too much difference either. So that's one of the big benefits of the swing trading. But yeah, if you're on a lower time frames or even scalping, each pip can be huge. You know, if you have like a 5 pip stop loss, 10 pip target, each pip there is very crucial. So you do need to be very more precise, and also the speed of everything as well. On the lower time frames, you know, you have to make quick decisions. Okay, is this the trade? Yes. Fits my plan? Yes. Take the trade. Boom. It has to be very, very quick like that. I have the luxury of, you know, looking at the trade and seeing it develop over a number of days, and then eventually taking the trade. So I've actually got about 2-3 days to actually, you know, finalize my decision to take the trade or not, which is luxury in itself. But you know, if you're in the lower time frame, you don't necessarily have that. So you have to know exactly what you're looking at on point, like Aina said, know exactly what you're looking at with a precision, and take your trades at the right areas, which obviously fit your plan as well. So yeah, you don't want to be kind of everywhere and anywhere at once with day trading, and especially scalping. You kind of want to be at the right time, at the right place, on the right pair. And when the setup's there, you take the trade, and when it's not, you know, you sit in your hands and you wait, or you wait for the next trading day. So yeah, precision is definitely important with the lower time frames. Anyway, we'll take a look at NZD CAD. So Elda said she's short. Okay, so yeah, NZD CAD. We'll talk about NZD CAD briefly yesterday. I said some shorts will be looking good for this one coming into the week. It never really tapped my zone. This is the level I was looking for price to come into before looking for some sells. But we didn't quite make it into that area there. So yeah, unfortunately, if I was looking to take NZD CAD, I wouldn't be in the trade. But obviously you are, and I think a couple of people yesterday as well said they were short on NZD CAD too. So yeah, price is looking interesting right now. I'm expecting price eventually to come back into the lows here, but I am pointing out this level here as well as a place to keep in mind, because the market doesn't necessarily need to push back down to the lows. We could see a bit of friction from this area and then something like this, or even potential reversal if the price wanted to. But NZD CAD from a top down perspective is still pretty bearish. We're seeing consecutive lower lows and lower highs, so the shorts do look very, very good for NZD CAD, and you know, to the downside is the direction I do favor. But obviously with news coming out, you know, anything could happen. We could look for a reversal potentially at the end of the day. So yeah, NZD CAD, I'm expecting more downside, and like I said, depends how far you're in profit as well. If you've got some good distance to work with, then you know, go break even. If the distance is not that small, you can kind of stretch the trade out until maybe like another 2 hours time, and then if you see what you're looking at. If you've got a bit more room to play with, then you can maybe look to hold the trade for news. If it's still pretty tight, then maybe you can just call it a day and take the profit. But the key thing I want to stress is you have to be consistent with your decision making. So it's not like one day I want to hold the trade for news because I feel confident, I feel lucky, and the next day you're scared and you don't feel like it's going to go too well, so you close the trade early. You need to be consistent with the actions. Either you're going to hold the trade for news at certain points or you're not. So you know, once you decide what you're going to do, the key thing is just sticking to that decision over time, because that's what's going to, you know, give you consistency. But in terms of the price action on the hourly time frame, I do like it. The market's gone from making higher highs, now making lower highs, and obviously breaking structure to the downside. So the price action is pretty clean, kind of like a bowl shape here. So yeah, I am expecting downside for NZD CAD. So congrats on the shorts, very, very good trade. But how far it goes will be up to the CPI, kind of. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for NZD CAD. US 30, we'll take a look next, and we'll take a look at AUD CAD as well. Pound NZD oil, we'll add that to the list. Ryan, NZJPY, I'm looking for buys. Yep, same as me. I'm looking for buys too. I'm looking for buys on NZJPY. I think price has probably got a little bit more room to the downside before I start looking for some entry signals. But I was looking for buys at the start of the week. It broke through my area of interest with some ease, actually. So yeah, but we'll take a look at the pair shortly. Pound USD, I'm on pound USD entry 1.27250, targeting 1.3. Stop losses, break even, holding for the news. Nice. I'm currently holding pound USD through the news as well, and as price goes hits my TP before that, which is highly unlikely. But yeah, at this rate I'll be holding my trade for news as well. So we'll be in the same boat. Draw trend line on the 4H Simbaz. Yeah, which market are you talking about there? USD on US inflation report lower. Which report are you talking about, Anton? Gold go up or down? Please reply. Yeah, I'm not a fortune teller. I can't tell you if the gold's going to go up or down. If I knew if gold's going to go up and down, you know, I'll be a multi-trillionaire by now. I'll be slapping on, you know, 1,000 lots every single trade if I knew where price was going. So yeah, I'll go over. I was supposed to go over gold a while ago, so I'll go take a look at gold in detail. But I'll just give you my analysis, and that's about it. I can't tell you if gold's going to go up or down. No problem. Luto to the moon. Happy that you enjoy my streams. If you are enjoying my streams, by the way, please be sure to drop a like. It does really help out the stream as well. Thank you to everyone who has liked the trade so far. Roland, bro, do you think it is safe to add positions to a running trade or not? For me, I think it is best to stick my running positions that I enter at the beginning of me taking the trade. I think it's up to you. I think the only answer which can tell you is if you look back over your trades and see is it efficient to add more trades to your winning positions, and also look at your back testing data as well. I recently went to a traders event in London a few weeks back, and a lot of the speakers who had like 10, 20, 25 years in trading, a lot of them kept saying the same points in terms of, you know, letting your winners run and making the most out of your winners as well. So a lot of them were big advocates of adding to your winning positions and not taking your profits too early. So I think generally speaking, adding to your winning positions is a good thing to do. I don't do it at the moment in my trading. I probably will look to experiment later, but I'm quite happy with my system at the moment, and maybe I might do it later. But if you're looking for big TPs, which I know you are, and looking to add to your winning positions, is something I think you should look to do, to go into. Yes, sometimes it's a little bit scary. You know, the market's already gone in your favor and you're trying to buy into it again higher. You know, it's a little bit scary. The market might retrace and pull against you. But it's the times where it does keep going. You know, those are times you hit big wins and they kind of make up for every time it doesn't as well. So I would say go back over your data, see if it is actually optimal to add to your winning trades. If the answer is yes, then you've got your answer. If the answer is no, then you've got your answer there too. But each person is going to have different data. You know, one person, it might be good to add to their winning trades. One person, it might not be. And I'm not too sure which category you fall in. The only way to answer that is if you look over your past results. Anyway, so let's go take a look at US 30 next. Okay, so US 30, wow, impressive push to the upside. Market held support there. So yeah, US 30, I've been looking at a move to the upside for a while now. Looking for price to go and take out that wick. I was expecting price to hold this level of support, but it looks like it's dipped a little bit lower to retest this support, and now it's looking pretty bullish. So my long-term bias for US 30 is still bullish. Looking for a big move back into 34,900. This one on the daily time frame is kind of giving us another inverted head and shoulders. Been seeing quite a lot of them recently. Got the left head and the right shoulder, and price is kind of breaking through the neckline-ish with that resistance there. We also have one on pound CAD and also one on EURUSD. But yeah, in terms of trajectory, I'm expecting more upside with US 30. So to look to find any entries is going to be a little bit difficult with this one because we're now coming to some resistance here. And yeah, we could actually see some downside from this point. So there actually might be some short-term sells, but for me, from the higher time frames, everything is looking pretty bullish. So if you're looking at some longs, break and retest of the highs, or if you do pull down one more time back into support, there might be some entries further down around 33,800. Either which way, buys for me is the best shout. I think it's got the best probability with the higher time frames and likely to go furthest as well. So yeah, US 30 bullish bias, looking at 34,900, the wick high there. We are coming to some resistance now where potentially a lower high could form. So if you're looking for some entries, you want to wait for price to actually go and break through that structure, catch the retest and get some longs, or pull back, see that lower high, pull back, and then see if you can hold this support again for some more buys. And obviously stop loss below, pretty safe place. Risk to reward looking pretty attractive as well if you're going to push it all the way back to the highs. So yeah, US 30 bullish bias. I think most indices pretty bullish apart from, well, most, I mean, the main US indices, US 30, S&P, NASDAQ, UK 100 looks very, very bearish, but for the US indices are looking pretty good at the moment. Okay, so yeah, US 30 expecting upside. I'll go take a look at AUD CAD. I'll take a look at AUD CAD, pound USD, oil, and NZD JPY as well. Yep, gold. Keep forgetting gold. I'll make sure I'll take a look at gold as well. Great stream. Thank you, Trev Beats. Can I ask what is the best broker to use with TradingView? I want to trade macro and mini lots. Yeah, I don't trade. I don't execute my trades on TradingView at the moment. I use MT4 for execution. I only use TradingView for analysis at the moment. I think Oanda's a pretty good broker. I've heard good things with Oanda. I don't personally use them. But Oanda, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Oanda do have, you can trade with Oanda on TradingView. So I think Oanda would be a good one to go and check out. I've heard good things with them. Like I said, I haven't used them, but I've heard good things. But yeah, for me, I only execute on MT4 and only analyze on TradingView. So I wouldn't know from my experience. Andreas, Pound Sea Chef. Okay, we'll add that to the list as well. Anus, Miko, any news about popping Moch? We don't see them anymore here. They're enjoying the summer, I guess. Yeah, Moch said she's, is it a he or a she? I don't even know. It's a she. It definitely is a she. Definitely is a she. So yeah, Moch said she was she went. I think she's going traveling. I think she said she went traveling. She said like a couple months back she won't be here through summer because she's traveling. Poppy, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I haven't noticed, to be fair. But thinking about it, yeah, we haven't seen them for a while. But yeah, Moch said she's traveling. Poppy, not too sure, to be fair. Hopefully they'll be back soon though. Okay, so I've got a bunch of pairs to go through, so let me start going through them. So I said I was going to take a look at gold, USD ZAR, AUD oil, and JPY. Okay, we'll take a look at them in that order. So first, let me take a look at gold. So gold, like I said, I'm not interested in shorting. I know a lot of people are talking about some shorts for gold because, again, we're coming to a very nice level of resistance. It's now, well, very nice level of support, now term resistance, and rightly so. Looking for shorts on this level does make sense, but the quality of the price action is pretty poor. The fact that we're starting to clear out these wick highs here and see some closures above them, closures into the zone, like I was explaining yesterday. If you got a level of support resistance, if the market's throwing wicks into the level, that's a good sign. But if we're seeing candle closures into the level, it means that price is progressing. It means that price is now successfully sustaining, price in that area. Before it was just firing wicks, it couldn't get a closure, but now it can. It means it's progressing to the upside. It's not a good sign. If the market's gone from closures to wicks, that's a good sign. That means we can't close there anymore. So that's a good sign that the market's holding, but we've done the opposite. So the fact that we are seeing candle closure into the zone here, I'm not a big fan of it. And now we've got some lower time frame support underneath us as well. So the market could still do something like this and push up to the upside. So again, with the way I trade, I'm looking for quality over quantity. Again, the market could hold on to this zone here. Let me change it back to gray. The market could hold on to this zone and drop 500 pips to the downside. That is definitely a possibility with gold, but it's just not a trade that I want to take. I want to make sure that the trades I take is of good quality and that I fully back. Not necessarily that they will play out, but just that the price action is good of when I'm entering. If the price action is then it doesn't make sense for me to take the trade. It could play out, it's still holding resistance, it could drop to the downside. But if I take a loss on gold right now, if I short gold right now and take a loss, I'll be annoyed with myself, not because it's a loss, but because I know it wasn't of prime quality, which I normally would want to take for my trades. If I take a good quality trade and I take a loss, I barely break sweat. It's annoying, losing trades are annoying, but if I know that the trade is of good quality, fit my plan, I have little issue with it. But if I take a trade outside of my plan or a trade that may fit my plan but just of lower quality and I take a loss, I would be annoyed with myself. And this would definitely be one of them. So yeah, gold's still holding resistance. It could drop to the downside, but like I said, market structure not looking too good. And quite frankly, with the higher time frames as well, I'm actually hoping we can actually break to the upside and possibly see this next wave to the upside from a daily perspective, following that bigger trend. So if the market can break through the resistance and then possibly see a pullback to retest some structure and catch that next higher low, 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like a good trade to me, back into some resistance and maybe some targets further as well. So yeah, I do really like the gold longs, but resistance, yeah, it's not really playing the part that I wanted to at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of my outlook on gold. I'll take a look at so yeah, we'll take a look at AUD CAD and then oil next. Okay, so where's AUD CAD? So yeah, like I said for AUD CAD, I do not like the price action at all. This is purely consolidation. Did someone said they're looking to short AUD CAD, or yeah, you're looking to buy AUD CAD at 0.88. Where is 0.88? So you're looking to buy. Okay, so you're looking to buy at support. Okay, makes sense. The market's consolidating, respecting support and resistance. So looking to buy down low does make sense, but it's just never really a trade opportunity that which I look for. I'm trying to follow a bit more momentum and more trend, which we're kind of not really seeing anymore. In the higher time frames, yes, there's a clear bearish trend to us, but if you look at the 4H, hourly, it's kind of just consolidation at the moment with AUD CAD. So I want price to start breaking structure not really to the upside. If it breaks to the upside, I'm not really too interested with buys. I'm more interested with the sells because it flows with the higher time frame trend. So I'm actually hoping we can snap through some support, get some pullbacks, retest some structure, some lower highs, and then I'll start looking for some executions to sell. But the buys you're talking about down there do make sense. Take advantage of the support, predicting another bounce from that support. Just never really a type of trade which I would gravitate towards. I'm looking for price to crack through support, clear out the lows, give me some lower lows and lower highs to play with, and then I'll start looking for my execution for some sells. Right now with this consolidation, yeah, it's not really my type of market conditions. So yeah, that's kind of my outlook with AUD CAD. Oil, last time I looked at oil, this one was breaking to the upside. And yes, it is breaking to the upside. It's starting to clear out these highs here. It's definitely cleared out the highs down the left. So as things stand, it looks like we're starting to clear consolidation. I wouldn't say it's quite broken through it yet. This is still kind of the consolidation I'm looking at. We're kind of chilling right at the extremes right now. So if the market can penetrate through 74, 75, we'll call it, if we can penetrate through this level here, then we could be looking at a bigger breakout, some pullbacks for oil, and then probably some upside. And we've got a big old level of resistance chilling around 82. So that could be a nice little target to trade towards in the long term if we get a breakout to the upside. But right now, kind of at the extreme. So I think breakouts and looking for buys is still a bit premature because the breakout's kind of not really there at the moment. But if you can really clear the resistance here, catch a nice little retest, I think that's a decent little buy. And you got quite a big distance to trade with as well, all the way back to 82 potentially. But yeah, oil for me, consolidation. Looks like we're breaking to the upside. I'll wait for a little bit more distance and then we can start looking for some pullbacks. Unless the market snaps back underneath the range, starts holding as resistance, then there could actually be some nice sells to the downside. Again, these are not really my type of trades. I'm looking for trends, and right now it's consolidation. But if we do break out, then we do have a bit of a bullish trend to play with. So the buys do look a lot better. But if you start breaking back inside the range, it's not really my type of trade there. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on the breakout of 75, sorry. Targets around 82. But yeah, still a little bit premature right now. Let's see if we can get a bit more distance and then we'll look for some pullbacks shortly after. USD ZAR we'll take a look at next as well. And then we're going to take a look at pound NZD and NZD JPY2. Pound Swiss, yep, we'll take a look too, no problem. What's up, HD? Hope you're doing good. Sorry, just late today, no problem. All is good, all is good. Harris, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. No problem, no problem. If you're late, you're good. You're not in trouble. No detention over here. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. Duper, what is up? New to your stream for some pound USD. Okay, welcome to the stream. So yeah, I go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and stream my analysis, my opinions, my trades, and I'm actually, funny enough, I'm long in pound USD at the moment, looking for a push into 1.3, hoping that maybe CPI can push us into that area. But yeah, I will go take a look at pound USD. There's another one of the pairs I'm supposed to look at. Happy to help Trev Beats. Rufus, nice analysis here from Kenya. Wicked. You from Nairobi? I think that's probably the only place I know in Kenya. Is it? Yeah, I think it is. But yeah, you from Nairobi? Check AUD CAD. I analyzed the AUD CAD already. If you want to scroll back a few minutes, you'll see the analysis to it. Commodities on channel index. I mean, I can go through some more commodities. Can you see the 4H head and shoulder on gold? You talking about inverse head and shoulder or regular head and shoulder? Gold at ATM. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyway, so let me go through USD ZAR, pound NZD, NZJPY, and pound USD as well. Okay, so pound. We'll start with completely forgot which pair. USD ZAR, that was it. Okay, so USD breaking structure to the downside. So yeah, USD is an interesting one. High time frames, very, very bullish. We've created some new all-time highs recently. So, oh, did not mean to do that. So we could be looking at a bigger retracement potentially. Because if I zoom out, you can see each time we do take out some big highs, market eventually retraces, big highs, retraces, big highs. Are we going to retrace? A big possibility we can. And right now the market's crept back inside the resistance here of the prior high and actually used it as resistance there. So we might be seeing some downside. I wouldn't be too overly confident with the sales with USDR. Like I said, the overall trend is still bullish. But again, looking for sales for USDR isn't the worst idea in the world because the swap's quite good. And yeah, we can be looking at a push back down to the prior low. We've now broken through some structure. I can anticipate a lower high, a couple of areas you can look to short from. Number one, number two, and looking to catch the break and retest of some of these areas. Boom or boom. Yeah, looking like a pretty good setup to me. So again, I wouldn't try and push it past this low here. We could go past that low, but like I said, higher time frame trend is still pretty bullish at the moment, and we could still find that high low at any point and still, continue higher. The only thing that is going for us in terms of the sales is that the market is now back beneath this level and also used it as resistance. So that gives us some extra confidence for some sells. But again, we got to respect the overall trend and not try and be too greedy with our TP. So a push into 18.13 looks pretty good. A retest of 18.6 and a retest of 18.76 looks like some nice areas to start looking for some shorts. But yeah, in terms of structure, that's kind of what I'm looking at for USD. We'll take a look at pound NZD next. So pound NZD, I'll look to this one coming into the week. I said it was a bit more neutral on pound NZD because we're coming to a very key level of resistance, but we did have that overall higher time frame bullish trend. So I said if the market holds this area, we can probably expect to see a move to the downside, or if we break through, we'll probably push back to the price swing high and look at this being another higher low in reference to this low down here. Now, that looks like exactly what price has done. Big breakout to the upside, now testing the highs there. So yeah, with pound NZD, it's a tricky one because we're coming to some major levels of resistance, and you don't necessarily want to be buying into this, even though the trend is still pretty bullish. So my kind of outlook with pound NZD is that if we can see some retracement, we might be able to catch the next high low. But again, we don't want to be pushing the trade too far into that resistance. We do have some high lows connecting the dots here, retesting some resistance and support. We might see some nice buys back into that same resistance, but we could at the same time, reverse, similar to what we did with NZD-JPY, which we did early in the week. We had this nice bullish channel, which eventually reversed to the downside. So I would be careful with that with pound NZD. But in terms of the bias, it's still bullish because we're still creating higher highs and higher lows. Excuse me. But yeah, pullback will be necessary because at the moment we're in some heavy resistance. Excuse me. Are we back? Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks like my voice is back. Or not. Okay, anyway, we'll keep going. So yeah, pound NZD looking at some pullbacks. 2.06 is looking pretty good. And yeah, some buys back into the relative highs makes a lot of sense to me. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for pound NZD. NZD-JPY. So yeah, we're looking at buys for NZD-JPY. I was looking at some buys earlier on in the week coming into some key support around this area here. Also with some nice confidence of the trend line. Market didn't hold it and dropped to the downside very aggressively, but we still do have the bigger trend at play, which is these major lows and highs. So low, high, low, high, low, and the high all out there. So I'm looking for another higher low to present somewhere around here for another push to the upside. So that's kind of the plan for NZD-JPY in terms of why I'm looking at long opportunities. We do have some decent confidence around here. So I'm hoping for a little bit more downside for this guy. And then we start to see what price does around this area here, 86. If we can see some healthy rejection, some healthy rejection, some good bullish candles showing that momentum shifted from the bears to the buys, then yeah, we'll be looking for entries. But the market's looking very, very bearish at the moment. So again, it's important not to be too overly confident and just jump into some buys. Let me switch off my phone. and not jump into some buys just because we have a bullish bias. You know, the market is looking very bearish. And like I said, with dollar yen, we're not trying to catch a falling knife. So this is where we want to be looking for our buys, and maybe possibly move back into that resistance makes a lot of sense as well. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for NZJPY. Let me know if you're looking at something similar as well. Okay, so okay, so pound USD, I'll take a look at that one next. Okay, if I've missed out a pair, let me know, because I've lost track of where I was. Pound CHF, Andreas will take a look as well. So pound USD, pound CHF will take a look too. Okay, I'll go to see if I can find the head and shoulder on the 4H on gold as well. Okay, inverted head. Okay, so yeah, I think I know the inverted head and shoulder you're talking about, which is this one here. The old left, the head, and the right shoulder. Yeah, people were pointing out this one last week on the stream too. So yeah, I do agree. I do agree with that. It looks like the market starts to bottom out. You can see the trend is obviously very, very corrective as well. It's not like we're seeing a lot of bearish momentum like we've seen with some of the yen pairs. It's not like we're melting to the downside, seeing big bearish candles at a time. The market structure with gold is very, very corrected to the downside, which is another sign, which is why I don't really want to follow the trend, because the trend is not really showing much conviction. If the market was giving us strong bearish candles, you know, impulsive, breaking lows cleanly, then yeah, I'll probably be more interested for the sells. But the fact that it's so corrective is also another red flag as well, and kind of builds up to the picture that the price is eventually looking to reverse the upside. So like I said, with gold, I'm still looking at a break of 1940, and then I'll look to catch my longs on the retest. Harris, Miko, should I believe on the candlesticks like hammer, doji, etc.? Hammer candles are quite powerful. I like it when the hammer candle engulfs the previous candle as well. So it's still giving me a bullish engulfing, but it's got the wick of the hammer candle. Those are quite powerful candles for entries as well. Dojis, I don't really look at dojis in too much detail. I mean, dojis just represent indecision, which doesn't really give me any edge really. I do like dojis when, say for example, we've got a big decline in price. So you've got a big decline in price, market's coming into a big level, which I'm looking to buy from. If the market starts printing dojis, that means that this bearish momentum has depleted, it's exhausted, the market's indecisive, the buyers and the sellers are kind of in equilibrium. So it means that the momentum, which we've once seen, is kind of vanished. But again, that doesn't trigger me into a trade. I need to be seeing signs of bullish momentum, which is why bullish engulfings and bearish engulfings are my main execution candle. And wicks is something I want to see as well, because it means that the market's rejecting that particular area, failing to go in the opposite direction. So wicks and bullish engulfing candles are the most powerful patterns to look at least for my trading style anyway. But dojis, like I said, they just represent indecision and represent the momentum that was once the market has gone, which is a good sign if you're looking for reversals and continuations. But that's about it for dojis. I don't really pay them too much respect apart from that. Haroon, what is up? Miko, when you put your trades on Telegram group, would it be possible to show where your stop loss, where your stop losses would be, stop losses would be? Still learning high time frames and finding it hard to put a correct stop. Yeah, I do share my stop losses on Telegram. When I update the Telegram group, I always put the entry, the stop loss, and my take profit. So if you go into the main Telegram group, if you go to the previous trade like pound USD, you'll see the stop loss number, you will see the entry number, or the entry price, I should say, and then the TP prices as well. So yeah, thank you Martin for subscribing. But yeah, the stop loss placements are there. But yeah guys, if you are enjoying the channel, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Okay, so pound USD. So yeah, pound USD, this is currently the trade I'm in. I think another person on the stream is on pound USD longs as well. So I'm currently long on this trade since Monday, which I entered over here at 3 p.m. on Monday. Nice little break and retest. This is one of the pairs which I was looking at coming into the week, and if it's set up at the same time as pound CAD, which would have been nice to take in that trade too, but you got to stick to the rules at the end of the day. So yeah, pound USD, this is what we're looking for. The retest of the structure, getting some buys off that retest, and obviously a push into 1.3 to complete that daily level, which is all the way up here, that price support. Because again, all this price action is all empty. There's no kind of major structure and resistance. Sure, if you go to lower time frames, there probably is some minor levels of structure and support and resistance, but the key ones, you've got the level all the way up here, which is more or less around 1.3, which is where I'm targeting for my trade. So I'm hoping we can see a bit more upside for pound USD back into 1.3. I'm currently break even. I've taken some partials as we came into the high here on the left. So worst case that happens, CPI pushes price against me. Thank you so much, Beastmaster, for subscribing. Worst case scenario, market dumps the downside off the back of CPI, takes me out break even. I still walk away with a small win. Best case scenario, obviously the market pushed to my highs. I take the TP and we move on to the next trade. So this is currently the trade I'm in, and will most likely be holding into CPI because I highly doubt we go and hit the target before that. So yeah, we'll be holding that trade for you as well. But yeah, in terms of my analysis and bias for pound, it's very, very bullish. If you look at the high time frames, daily, still seeing a bullish trend, weekly, still seeing a bullish trend here. So there's a lot of bullish momentum present for pound USD. We've had a lot of break and retest of these highs as well. So in terms of looking for buys for pound, pretty much a no-brainer. All you need to do is just look for a good place to look to enter with some good confidences and see what the market does. And obviously the market has reacted quite well at that level, so we'll manage this trade accordingly. There's not really much to manage. My stop loss is there, TP's there. It just depends what market hits. But yeah, definitely I'm bullish. If you're looking at buys for pound USD, there could be some nice buys in the break and retest this level. So the market does want to pull back a little bit deeper, then you do have the possibility of seeing this retest and then continuation. So that could provide some nice buys around 1.285. So this is a decent idea for some longs. So yeah, if CPI does push it down, maybe you do get another high low before continuing high up. So if you are looking at pound USD buys, then 1.285 could be a nice area to consider. But yeah, I wouldn't say there's much to do right now. Okay, so we'll take a look at pound CHF next. Okay, so yeah, we'll take a look at pound CHF next. AUD CAD, we'll take a look as well. Did I see USD JPY? What's happened with USD JPY? I mean, do you mean have I looked at it yet? Yeah, I have looked at it. It's been pretty bearish, expecting a bit more downside for dollar yen, still consistent with the low lows and low highs. So like I said, if you can get a little retest, because we haven't had a successful break and retest yet. So a retest of 140-200 looks pretty attractive, and some more sells to the downside intraday though. I wouldn't try and sell dollar yen too aggressively because we've already seen a huge move down. So it might be time for some profit taking for the sellers, which could trigger some retracement, big retracement. So although intraday momentum is looking good, taking small bits of that momentum, but I think a big move to the upside is pending. Whether it's going to be CPI, whether it's going to be next week, that's up to the market. Haroon, happy to help. Anus bro, can you please tell me how to create a track record? I think you should link the trading account to something like a trading journal, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, you can do it with MyFX book. You can do it with MyFX book. I mean, there's other journals out there. I've recently just bought Edgewonk. It's a trading journal as well, which you can connect or kind of just transfer your data from your MT4 to the journal, so it prints out itself. But I recently just bought Edgewonk literally like yesterday, so I'm testing them out now. But since before that, I've been using my FX book, and they have a free version as well. You can also pay like £5 or £10 a month or something like that as well for a paid version. But if you check out MyFXBook, which their website is down for MyFXBook right now. I don't know what's going on with MyFXBook. I'm using Forex Factory for my economic calendar, but I normally use MyFXBook. I normally use MyFXBook for my economic calendar, but for the past day or two, they've been down. I don't know what's going on with MyFXBook. But when they do eventually get back up and running, they do have a nice little portfolio management thing, which you can plug in your MT4 login details, so your login and your password. Then it will give you an equity curve. It will show your stats, win rate. Give you all your stats that you need to look at. So yeah, check out MyFXBook, but there's also tons of other journals out there. Like I said, I'm trying EdgeRonk right now, but yeah, I'll let you know my experience with them. Anyway, we'll take a look at Pound CHF, Pound Swiss. Okay, yeah, Pound Swiss, very, very corrective. Yeah, this is a big consolidation in the higher time frame. So this is very, very choppy price action for a while. Very, very choppy price action. So Pound CHF for me, this is just mess. This is just mess. Higher time frames, there's a clean bearish trend at play, as we can see. But right now we're kind of in a weird place right now with Pound Swiss. So again, if I wasn't streaming to people right now, I would just look at Pound CHF really quickly and then move on, to be fair, because I don't like the conditions at all. At best, there may be some shorts if you start breaking structure to the downside, catch a lower high, and catch a nice little break and retest. So we've got one high over there, next lower high, probably a third one, break structure. You look for the retest and then look for some sells. So that's not a bad opportunity. The only thing I don't like about it is because we're trading inside the range there, so there's not really much of a larger trend which I'm taking advantage of. So that's what I don't really like about Pound CHF, and it's just a very choppy pair at the moment with a lot of wicks. But if I had to trade it, this is probably something I would be looking at for Pound Swiss. So yeah, if you can start taking out some lows and we can get some lower highs developing, that's not a bad place to short. Or even if you pull back a little bit deeper into this area, that's also not a bad place to short as well. Around, was it 1.139? That's also not a bad place to start looking for some sell opportunities as well. But yeah, Pound Swiss to me is just a big mess, and we're kind of just trading at the highs of that big mess as well. So I'm not seeing quality setups at the moment. And this is the best I've got. Let me know what you're looking at for Pound CHF as well. Okay, so AUD we'll take a look at as well. Greg, morning, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Have not gone through Pound Yen. Have I gone through? No, I don't think I have actually. We'll go take a look at Pound Yen next. Abdul, what is up? I tried checking out your Telegram on Instagram, but it's not giving me through. It's not giving me going through. I mean, the link. Okay, so the link's not working. Use the link in the description. Use the link in the description. I've got a couple links to my Telegram in the description. One to the group, one to the main chat. So I mean, that's how everyone else joins the Telegram. So yeah, check out the links in the description if the Telegram or my Instagram is not working. I would consider a move if dollar yen retraces. Okay, what level are you looking to short dollar yen from, Rayan? Is it intraday you're looking at, or you're looking at a longer move? Gold, okay, we'll take a look as well. Anus Bro, a journal trading, is it track record? What is a journal a track record? Yeah, a journal is essentially a track record, yes. It's a track record if you track your trades essentially. So yeah, you can use it as a track record, but I would say if you want to be a bit more professional, then you probably want to use some other external software, like MyFXBook is a software which obviously you plug in your details, and it will give you all your charts, will give you different ratios and whatnot, some professional stats which professionals would look at essentially to gauge your portfolio and stuff like that. So yeah, I would recommend maybe using some external software. But yeah, if you want to keep it simple, if you're just writing down your trades or you're keeping it on Excel or whatever, then yeah, that is a track record as well. That is a track record as well. But you can utilize other software, make things a little bit neater, and also gives you a bit more information to look at as well. But yeah, a journal is technically a track record too. Okay, so we'll take a look at what was it, pound yen. Okay, so pound yen, what's cooking with pound yen? Another JPY pair. Okay, so yeah, like I said, pound yen still looking bearish, but again, not trying to be too greedy with the shorts here. Coming into the week, this is the level I was talking about, 180. I said some shorts into 180 look good, but I wouldn't push it further than 180 because again, we still do have this higher time frame bullish trend, which is still intact. We could see some downside, maybe a week or two, and then suddenly big push to the upside. This could easily happen at any point. Maybe we could see a big bearish move back down to this level here. That's obviously a possibility. If we see a move all the way down there, that would be a crazy move. That'd be a crazy move if that happened. But again, I wouldn't be too optimistic. If it happens, it happens, but be ready for it to not happen as well. So yeah, pound yen, I was talking about a retest of this level here because we had a nice breakout to the downside, clearing out the consolidation. Price was creating some equal highs, failed to break through, then it broke to the downside. And yesterday I was talking about a retest of this structure here. Lovely support. We broke through the level with a lot of momentum. Never got a retest, and we still haven't got a retest of the level either. So this is still a pretty nice place to look for some shorts if we get a bigger pullback into 182, 200. Looking for that next lower high, 1, 2, possibly 3, kind of connecting the dots with the trend line. If we get a bigger pullback into that area, that to me looks like a prime place to short, and you've got some healthy targets down here at 180, 180, 200-ish. So yeah, pound yen for me, I am bearish intraday or intra-week at least, because we are starting to break through some structure here. We're fading at highs as well, so we're showing a lot of good signs that the market is starting to exhaust, at least from the bullish trend, and at least take a bigger retracement. It may turn into a reversal. Obviously, I'm not a fortune teller, so I have no idea, but at the moment in time, it does look like there's a bit more distance to be had for pound yen. This price action is a little bit corrective, so like I said, it would be nice if we were to have a bigger pullback and then sell off. There might be some smaller time frame break and retest within this structure here. I'm not really a big fan of it because it's quite corrective, which is why if we have the bigger pullback, that'll be a lot nicer. But of course, pound yen will do what pound yen needs to do. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at for pound yen. If we start breaking through 180, things will get very, very interesting. We might have a bigger move to the downside because again, there's a big gap here. The next structure we have is all the way down here. So it's a possibility we could get there, but it's a big one. So yeah, pound yen, look at some sells. What you're looking at for pound yen, let me know as well. Yeah, what I'm looking at, pound yen, euro yen, very similar analysis. CHF JPY is very, very corrective, but it's kind of doing the exact same thing as well. Dollar yen's kind of a different breed. That one's kind of melted aggressively. There's still some nice sells to be had on an intraday perspective, but again, I wouldn't try and push it too far either, because again, there's a hell of a move to the downside. Let me measure that in pips. That's 500 pips to the downside. That's crazy. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for pound yen. We'll take a look at gold as well. Kevin, what are your thoughts on NZUSD? Just joined the stream. Okay, wicked. We'll take a look at NZUSD. Another dollar pair. Are you trading NZUSD, or you looking to trade it, or you just want my opinion? Okay, first let me go over gold quickly. So yeah, gold still looking at some buy positions if we can break above 1940. Still haven't got the breakout yet. Market's still rejecting that level, having a hard time trying to break through. But like I said, with my analysis, with the things going on with the higher time frames as well, with how corrective gold is, the fact we're starting to print some higher lows, starting to clear out these wicks, I'm favoring gold breaking through the resistance. I could be wrong, but again, I'm not going to place a trade and bet on it. I'm waiting for price to break the resistance and then looking for the retest. So, if I'm wrong and the market does break to the downside, yeah, I'm wrong, but I don't lose a trade. It doesn't go on the track record, so that's the most important thing. But anyway, yeah, goal for me, I'm waiting for price to break to the upside, looking for some pullback since 1940, and then we've got some beautiful highs to aim for back into 1965 and so on and so forth. I think eventually we could be looking at a bigger push into the highs there into 2060 and maybe some new all-time highs as well. But at the moment, we're having a hard time breaking through, so I'm wondering maybe CPI can give us that shove we need, and then we can look some retest shortly after. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for gold for a bigger move to the upside. Okay, so NZD/USD, we'll take a look next. Okay, you went long on the pair, nice, anticipating some dollar weakness. Are you going to be holding your trade through the news? Kevin, you're going to hold the trade through the news, or is a quick trade you're going to close before? And it's okay, bro. For the moment, I just journal on a Google Sheet. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I did that for a while as well. I mean, again, you don't necessarily need to have the software. You don't need to. The key thing of journaling is just understanding your trades, keeping a note of what you're doing. Because again, it is a business at the end of the day, so you want to actually keep track of what you're doing. The profits, the losses, keep track of that. Obviously keep track of your management as well, and you're following your plan. So that's the key thing with journaling. Note down what your business is doing. If you want to, there's other external softwares you can use, like MyFXBook and EdgeRonk and some other journals, which again give you a nice little flashy little vibe to it and give you some stats. Not all of them you need, but some are useful. So if you want to use it, feel free to use it. But again, it's not a necessity. I was using Excel for ages. Okay, so we'll take a look at NZD/USD. What's up, Trippy Queep? Great stuff, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it. What are your thoughts on Euro Pound? Okay, we'll take a look. No problem. Holding for 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, we got ourselves a nice little swing trade over here. Okay, so NZD/USD. So do you want me to take a look at the more daily time frame, daily 4H? Okay, so NZD/USD. So yeah, for this one, it's an interesting one. Because price is coming back into some resistance here. Because for every other dollar pair, or not every other dollar pair, but the major dollar pairs, at least for like pound USD, euro USD, even dollar yen to an extent, I'm expecting dollar weakness. Pound USD is looking pretty bullish. We're seeing higher highs and higher lows on multiple time frames. So I'm still expecting dollar weakness against the pound. Still expecting dollar weakness against the euro as well. The DXY still like it's got room to fall. I'm still looking at the DXY coming back down into 101. So in my book, DXY still got a little bit left to go back into this support level. So I'm still looking at dollar weakness. So I would be expecting AU to go up and NZD/USD to go up as well. However, the price action for AUSD and NZD/USD is a little bit off, because if I look at NZD/USD right now, although I'm expecting dollar weakness, we've come back into the resistance here. So this is not really a good place for me to go long for NZD/USD. If we were to break above this resistance, then yeah, that gives me a lot more hope that, okay, NZD is gaining some strength, dollar still maintaining that weakness, we're breaking through some key structure, and some pullbacks will look very, very good shortly after that. So I do like the buys for NZD/USD if we can clear the resistance there. But obviously, as you can see, NZD/USD is getting me very, very corrective now, failing at the highs, not particularly a good sign as well. So yeah, I do favor price to probably break resistance, but at the same time for NZD/USD, the higher time frame trajectory is still quite south as well. So I'm not the biggest fan of long-term buys for NZD/USD at the moment. If we do break the resistance, then yeah, we might see a push back to 0.636. I mean, where's your target for the NZD/USD buys? Where's your target for the NZD/USD buys? Because it also looks like NZD/USD is printing this inverse head and shoulder, which does make sense. But again, I would want price to kind of break through that neckline a bit cleaner and then get the retest shortly after that. And then you got some decent targets to aim for. I'm not too sure what your target is, but those make sense too. So yeah, NZD/USD, that's kind of what I'm looking at from a 4H daily perspective. Buys do look okay, but we need to clear that resistance for it to look a lot better, at least for me to consider looking to enter any longs. But the fact that we're holding to that resistance, not a good sign. Okay, so Euro Pound will take a look next as well. Like, what is up? Silver, daily time frame. Okay, we'll have a look see as well. So would you confirm buys around 6240, 6240, 6240? Yeah. So yeah, if price breaks north of that, that would definitely tell me that, okay, sellers are failing to hold resistance, and we'll most likely you see some continuations to the upside, because this looks like the market's starting to print some higher lows. You know, we had a nice bearish trend here, was quite corrective at least, but it looks like the market's starting to print some higher lows and could be looking at reversing. But if we do fail to break through the resistance, that's never actually a higher low, and the market could still head south. If the market does break through the high here, you know, this is actually kind of confirmed as a higher low, and that tells me that we've got a greater probability of printing another higher low in the future and continuing higher. So that's why I said if you break through this high, it tells me that, okay, buyers are, you know, are most likely here to stay, or at least stay a little bit longer. So that's why I do like the buys there for NZUSD if we clear the high there. But apart from that, rejection resistance is a little bit too aggressive in my opinion. But of course, if you've got a plan, yeah, stick to it. Okay, so Euro Pound we'll take a look at next. Silver we'll take a look at as well. Derek, what is up? Good morning. Miko, thank you. Good morning to you too. Looking to long Aussie USD at 0.66831. What's your thoughts? TP at 0.6. Okay, we'll go take a look at AUSD after silver. We're 20 on the live. Don't forget to leave a like. Appreciate it, Anis. Yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new as well. If you want to see more of the content again with these streams, I go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time. Stream my analysis, share my trades, share my experience. People ask questions, share their trades experience, and all the good stuff as well. So if that sounds good to you, feel free to drop a little subscribe, and a like as well won't hurt. Anyway, silver daily time frame. Can't say it's I've looked at the silver daily time frame in a while. Okay, so yeah, silver daily time frame. Okay, I was looking at it last week. I said that the market's kind of contradicting itself a little bit because we've got this bigger bullish trend at play, which possibly could be seeing another bullish leg, but at the same time, we do have this more intra-week bearish trend at play, which is these lower lows and lower highs. So it's kind of which trend's going to win. Is the market going to fall south and continue the bearish trend, or is the bullish trend going to continue? And it's kind of a weird crossroad, which I feel like a lot of traders, a lot of technical traders can relate to, where one time frame is pointing down, one time frame is pointing up. You're not too sure which time frame to follow. A good rule to use is normally follow the higher time frame. But also a better tip, I would say, just don't do anything. Don't do anything. Wait for that time frame and the other time frame to correlate, to be in sync, and then you give yourself a really good opportunity to win your next trade. You know, for now, you know, price is kind of contradicting itself with this bearish trend and the bigger bullish trend. But let's say the market in the next few days breaks to the upside, start printing some higher lows, then yeah, the buying opportunities here will be very, very high, because not only is this bullish trend now in play, you've also got the higher time frame backing as well, and the probability of this trade playing out is just gone up tenfold. So I would say with silver, there could be some sales coming to the structure here, but again, I wouldn't push the trade too far because of that higher time frame bullish trend. So I say at best, you know, back into the low of the consolidation, but I wouldn't be too optimistic with the trade. Again, like I said, if I was trading it, I would wait for some synchronicity between the two time frames. It's kind of the same with gold as well. You know, gold, we've got that kind of intraday bearish trend with the higher time frame bullish trend. I'm kind of waiting for gold to snap bullish and then look for my long opportunities. Kind of the same with silver as well. So if a silver does start breaking to the upside, I feel like there's going to be a good trade to be had with both of them, gold and silver. But at the moment, market's still holding structure. There might be some bearish momentum left, but I'm not really a big fan of that opportunity there. Okay, so Euro Pound AUD we'll take a look at next. Joel, what is up? Yep, we'll take a look at AUSD. No problemo. UAD, okay, we'll take a look as well. Umar. What can I trade now? You can trade whatever market you want to trade. You know, I'm not here to tell you what to trade, what not to trade, because you we have to have a plan in place. We have to have a system in place. And when that system arises, we take trades. Trading is not just, okay, let me just make money and buy and sell. So, I mean, before the stream ends, I'll go from a watch list. So hopefully that will help you out. But in terms of what to trade now, I can't answer that question. Anyway, so let me go through euro pound. So yeah, euro pound, I'm not a big fan of the price action at all. It's just very, very choppy. I understand there is a higher time frame bearish trend at play here, but I just don't like the market conditions. Way too choppy. I did say coming into the week, if we can clear the support level by a great distance, I'll be looking for the pullbacks, continuations, and looking to short, happily. But this breakout here is just very, very shallow. Barely cleared the support level by much, and right now the market's actually trading back above the support level. So coming into the week, I marked this out as consolidation. The higher the consolidation, slight fake out to the upside. Lower the consolidation, slight fake out to the downside. I'm waiting for price to fully break out, whether it's to the upside or to the downside, by some great distance, and now looking for my pullbacks. Obviously, the high time frame trend is down, so I do favor it to break down. But if it wants to fake and come back in, then so be it. I'm not looking to do too much with euro pound. But for me, anything in this area is no man's land. Too choppy, market conditions poor. This is not where my trading style shines. I want the market to be trending, seeing good momentum in a particular direction. And that's when I'm starting looking for my executions. And right now, we definitely do not have that. So euro pound, looking for price to start clearing the lows here, 0.852. I'm still bearish on the pair because, again, higher time frames are bearish, but I'm just not seeing a good opportunity to sell at the moment. So waiting for a little bit more. With euro pound, we'll take a look at Aussie dollar next. Where is Aussie dollar? There you are. So yeah, AUSD is a bit weird. It's kind of inside a consolidation, and then it's kind of consolidating within that consolidation. So yeah, just never really a good thing to witness when price is consolidating in a consolidation. That's just, yeah, not for me at all. But yeah, this is kind of what I've got for AU. So we've got the fake to the upside here. So this is the high of the range, low of the range. This is a fake to the downside there. We didn't quite make it back down to the low. Markets printed a big wick to the upside. But again, I wouldn't read too much into this wick. This wick could easily be filled by the end of the day with the CPI coming out later. Or we could be closing very, very bearish by the end of the day as well. It's kind of 50-50. So I would wait to see how CPI reacts with price. But at the moment, this to me looks like a big consolidation, which the market has faked to the upside. So we could break back outside of it again, retest it, and then get some buys later on, or we could just stay within the range and have a big sell-off. It's tricky. I'm already seeing clean opportunities here with AU. Like I said, with the news coming out later, it's a big if. It's a big if what price could do next. I did say coming into the week, if the market does break out of this, looking for the retest on this level looks like a good opportunity. Retest 0.67, that looks like a really good opportunity in my opinion. But yeah, the break and retest obviously didn't materialize. The market came straight back down. Didn't really see much evidence of giving us signs that the market's rejecting that level for a suitable retest. So yeah, AUSD, I'm kind of neutral because we're inside the consolidation. I do like the idea of buys back into the high of the consolidation there, but we do need to break through 0.67 first with a confident breakout and a confident retest. Right now, the market's kind of just faking above it, faking below it, so not clear price action. I think someone said they're looking for some buys, I think, on AU. Oh, so yeah, you're currently long on AU 0.66831, 0.66831, so that's more or less here. Bang on the money, actually. TP 0.6648. No, TP 0.67405. Okay, that's more or less coming back to the highs there. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, what's going on here? There we go, more or less at the high there, and stop loss 66488. So that's more or less underneath these lows here. Okay, so yeah, not bad opportunity to be fair. I mean, you're kind of following that momentum. Obviously, there's a bit of a bullish trend here at play with these higher highs and high lows in the low time frames. I just don't like the fact that we've crept back inside the range here at 0.67. If you can get back above 0.67, I think your trades come back to life and things are looking good. But the fact that we've had aggressive push to the upside followed by aggressive move back down again, coming back underneath this resistance level, not particularly a good sign. So again, I think CPI is going to play a big role in this. We've got about an hour and a half before CPI comes out, so I think price is not going to do too much movement until then. You know, hour and a half is not a long time. We'll probably move sideways and then boom, CPI will come out. Maybe we work down, maybe we push up. That's going to be up to CPI. So I think for you, if you want to hold the trade for CPI, you know, be my guest. You know, if you're going to plan for that, then feel free to do it. But I feel like CPI is going to either make or break the trade probably. So we'll see what happens with that. From an analytical point of view, it looks okay. I just don't like the fact that we're below that resistance. If we're above that resistance, then yeah, I definitely would favor more upside. But you know, equally, we could respect this resistance and sell off again. So yeah, that's just my general honest analysis of the pair. So hopefully that made some sense. Okay, CAD Swiss favor. Okay, we'll take a look on CAD CHF as well. What's up, Mahai? Probably saying that incorrectly, but what's up? Love from India. Right back at you. You can trade pound yen, buy, thank me later. Okay, we'll see if pound yen goes up after the news. Okay, so let me go through. I'll go through AUD CAD. I'm in sales. Enter that 0.856. Okay, on euro pound, where is 0.856? 856. Okay, that's more. Okay, so here you're pretty safe. Obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see news push up back against you. To be fair, news can do a lot. But in terms of the news, you're not necessarily, you know, vulnerable to a SL. If your entry's up there, you probably at break even by now. So you can probably just, you know, wait to see what the news does. Either it goes to your TP or your target, or it comes back to break even. You know, worst case scenario. I would suggest maybe taking some partials because again, we are at a very key level of support. So it's a sensible place to take some profit, just in case the market does fly to the upside. But yeah, just yeah, you're a fairly safe place. So just see what the news provides. Maybe it does dump to the downside and gives us that bigger move. But like I said, it's a very shallow breakout. It could easily be false, similar to the one up there. Okay, so CAD Swiss. Yeah, CAD Swiss coming to the week was a pair on my watch list. It still is my watch list. It's just very far from the level of interest. Feel free to check me out on TradingView. I've got a link in the description to my TradingView profile. But yeah, CAD CHF was one of the pairs I was looking at coming into the week. We had lovely support, which broke through some good momentum. Haven't got the retest. We had some successive lower highs. I was looking for the market to pull back, retest that area. Then I'll be looking for my sells back to the downside. And these are the targets back into the prior low. Pressing play, as you can see, price is almost there currently. And we never got that pullback. Price just kind of consolidated. It was just far too bearish to see the pullback. And it dumped to the downside. So CAD CHF, I'm still kind of after a pullback to the upside for a lower high and then some more downside. But yeah, it's very far from my level of interest. So we might be seeing maybe a pullback onto this support level. Yeah, that next pullback, lower high, then dump. But again, it's going to have to be a pretty big move to get us back there again. So it might not be a trade for this week, or maybe we'll see what news does. I think, is there CAD news this week? I'm not too sure. I think there is. Anyway, so yeah, CAD CHF, bearish bias. If you scale to the higher time frames, you can see the overall trajectory is still very much to the downside as well. So we have a lot of wind in our sails for some sells. So I'm just looking at some good pullbacks and some lower highs, and it may be forming a big head and shoulder pattern here, which could be at play as well. Bit of a stretch, but it definitely fits the mold. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for CAD CHF going into the last stages of this week / next week as well. And then long term, could be seeing a push back down into the prior low at 0.64817. And we'll wrap it up on Aussie CAD as well. So yeah, AUD CAD, like I said, not a big fan of the price action. Basically consolidation, as we can see if I drop to the hourly time frame. Basically consolidation, not really giving us good pristine price action here. I want to see price breaking out, give me momentum again, break to the downside, clear out some lows, give me some lower highs, retest some structure, then that's when I'll find my entries. Long term, I'm still pretty bearish on AD Canada. As we can see, a comfortable bearish trend at play. So I'm still looking at attacking the sales, taking advantage of the trend which is at play. And we've got a long-term target down here at 0.86 as well. So in terms of trajectory, everything's looking pretty nice from a higher time frame perspective, but lower time frames, 4H hourly, this is just a mess. I'm not trying to second guess where the market could go. We could easily break to the upside, just like we could easily break to the downside. So I'll wait for the market to actually break. And if it is the downside, I'll be looking for some lower lows, lower highs, retest some structure, and then looking for some entries to capitalize on another down move, at least back to the prior low, which is not too far away. Risk reward might not be the best, but if we're lucky, we might catch an even bigger move back down to 0.86 if the daily kicks in. So yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of the stream. We do have CPI coming out later, which we've mentioned a bunch of times. So again, make sure you are aware of that and managing your trades wisely. Definitely, if you're on the lower time frames, be careful for it because yeah, it's gonna affect you guys the most. I'm still long in pound USD, so I'll keep you guys updated with that one. If it goes and hits the TP, I'll update you guys in the Telegram. If it hits stop loss, which is down here at break even, I'll let you guys know in the Telegram as well. If I do get into any other trades in the meantime, which I won't be getting into any trades now before the news, but maybe there might be something after the news that presents itself. So I'll let you guys know in the Telegram as well if I do get into any other positions. So make sure you are, subscribed to that, link in the description. But yeah, guys, I'll keep you updated. Like always, I will be live again tomorrow, same time as always, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time as well. So I hope to see everyone there. Thank you so much for coming onto the stream. If you have enjoyed the stream as well, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe. It really does help out. Thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed so far. And if you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link to IC Markets. Feel free to check them out if you want to, using the link if you want to. But guys, thank you so much for coming to the stream. Anus, as always, thank you, trusty moderator, for coming to the stream. I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Have a good one.
Oh.